Hi, today's tip is about understanding the distinction between what I call grandeur and grandiosity. Some of you may know that I've been a student of A Course in Miracles for about 20 years now, and sometimes I love reading it, sometimes it's like reading English in a foreign language. I don't always understand what it's saying. One of the ideas that really did inspire me, though, when I first started reading it 20 years ago, was a section called Grandeur versus Grandiosity. And what it talks about is that we can show up in the world in our grandiosity and we can show up in our grandeur, but to understand what the foundations of each of those things is. So here's my understanding of that. Grandiosity, it says in the Course, is of our ego. So we can all recognize people we would call on an ego trip, who are inflating themselves and showing off and saying how wonderful they think they are and they're the best and all that kind of stuff. And some of us find that kind of, not very attractive. So we would never particularly want to do that. But what the Course in Miracles says is also it's an act of grandiosity to deflate ourselves. So we can recognize that over-inflating ourselves can be an act of grandiosity. But a lot of us don't realize that actually deflating ourselves and playing small and being overly humble is actually a form of grandiosity. And when I first started to understand that, it was a bit of a shock because, I thought playing small and not thinking very highly of myself was being really true and all those good things, when I realized it was actually being grandiose. So what the Course says then is, within each of us, there's also a place of grandeur. It says we were created in a kind of spiritual grandeur. Our Creator made us with grandeur inside us, and there's nothing we can do about that. We can forget about it, we can cover it up, but it will never go away. So the invitation is to show up in the world with our spiritual grandeur, with our true essence, which isn't about either inflating ourselves or deflating ourselves, but is showing up with our true self, who we really are, without any arrogance or without any pride or without any putting ourselves down, and just say, look, I am an amazing child of God, but so is everybody else. So I hope that helps, and think about, where in your life might you be in grandiosity, either through inflation or deflation, and what would it be like for you to show up more with your true grandeur of spirit?